I'm glad you're here. My name is Tanya. Well, I have to tell you a story. Okay, we have this fan, in our living room, and we only ever used it when we didn't have air conditioners, and now we have air conditioners, so we never use our ceiling fan. And so last night when we were watching some movie, me and my husband and my son, all of a sudden the ceiling fan slowly starts moving around. I'm sorry. I can't help but laugh. you know. Anyways, we're all looking at it like, what is going on here? I get my thoughts, because I've experienced some weird stuff. And my husband's thinking, oh, electrical, and, nobody got it. Today, when I'm sitting here folding my clothes on my couch, all of a sudden I see the ceiling fan moving, and no, I'm not scared. And I'll show you the culprit. Right here. The guilty party. It's the fan. It was blowing up there and causing the fan to move. Now, I have experienced some weird stuff in my time, so no, I'm not afraid. But I have experienced some weird stuff. I'll tell you one thing that happened to me. I used to work in this healthcare center, and I worked with this one woman, okay? And anyways, I think it was when I was just starting to work there. So anyways, it was the end of the shift. We were the last two people there. We were standing ready to click out. We had turned off all the lights and everything was done because we have to make sure everything's done before we leave. And so I had clicked out first and she was, just doing it. And my, out of the side of this side of my eyes, peripheral vision, I saw something black go past. Now, I know, like, if that happens, people say, you're just seeing things. So I'm thinking, you're just seeing things. And then I hear a crash. Nobody else is there but us. And it's like, oh my goodness. So anyways, I looked over to the gal. I said, did you hear that? And she's looking over my head. She's looking past me over where we heard the crash. She said, did you see that? I said, what did you see? She said, I saw some dark figure go across, and she says it was a man. And it was really, really tall, she said. We don't have some really, really tall people there. Anyways, we clocked out, got out of there. And as we're walking, I said, I wonder where that thing came from. I wonder, I was wondering, it's like, okay. And she told me it was her brother. And he follows her all over the place. And she said that her mom was she was into mountain religion. And if anybody knows what mountain religion is, if you think about Granny, that's got some witchcraft in it. And she also said she was very interested in Wiccan and that kind of stuff. I wasn't afraid. Not, now that I think about it, no. I know who I am in Jesus Christ. But it was pretty wild. It was pretty wild. I remember when I used to work at this assisted living, there was these young girls that were telling me that there was weird happenings that happened there, and I thought they were just goofy. I would say, oh yeah, just kind of shake my head and say, yeah, I believe you, when I didn't, and I shouldn't have done that. And when this happened to me, it made me think otherwise. Anyways, so that is my story there. And right now, I'm going to have to get up and go about and do some stuff. We are going through our house, still going through our house. it seems we're overwhelmed with stuff, and we got rid of so much stuff when we moved from a 3-bedroom house with a basement and a she shed and all this stuff into a mobile home. We had no clue how much stuff we had. So we when we left that other place, we had put all kinds of things on the yard for people to just come and take. So, I mean, we got rid of stuff, a lot of it, but I didn't know how much stuff we have. So now I'm getting rid of clothes, and I've been getting rid of clothes like crazy. The thing is, I found out a lot of the clothes I don't wear. So the things that I don't wear, I'm getting rid of. I am downsizing incredibly. Now my husband has got a lot of sentimental attachment to a lot of the stuff that we have. And he's going through it too. And he's getting rid of stuff, and I can't go through his stuff. He needs to go through it, and my son himself too. But it just seemed like we haven't been able to get to it because I had been working. Now my husband's working, and you get overwhelmed. There's just so much going on. But I'm glad. I'm glad to get rid of the stuff. I'm not a minimalist at all, but I don't like so much stuff where it's cluttery, and I like getting rid of the stuff. So the one thing is, if you have too much stuff, you forget about the stuff that you have and you don't see it. And then you're thinking, oh, I forgot about this. I forgot I had this. And if it's out of sight, out of mind, and if you don't remember it, what's the reason to even have it? So we're getting rid of stuff, and I feel good about that. I understand why my mom doesn't want a lot of things for Christmas. So enough about that. I gotta go. I don't want to take too long. I love you. Have a blessed day. I gotta start getting rid of some more stuff. Bye.